Hi, this is a quick video because we've been receiving some bus drivers stating that they're not able to log into their MDTs and also that they're not able to scan students with their scanners. So just wanted to address some of those issues here right now so that we'll be ready come next week when we start transporting our students. So first things off, you want to make sure that if you, before you get started, please click on this three dash. Well, actually, before we get started, just make sure that the time and the date is correct. Okay, this time and date will tell you that you have data service and that it's hooking up to the GPS Synovia server, the company server. All right, so before we get started, go ahead and hit the three dashes, and this will resolve the issue of some of the bus drivers not being able to scan any of the students onto their buses. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit settings. Okay, and then on the app setting, make sure that the ridership verification is turned off. So what this does is if it's turned off, even if there are students on your route that's not supposed to be there, it won't check to see if that student is actually on your route or not. It'll just let you scan any student on that has a bus pass, and that's what we want because if it's too if it's not letting those students on and not syncing correctly, that's where we're getting the issue of some of the bus passes not working. So when it's turned off, then you will be able to scan any um, um, you know bus passes, and it'll record it and it'll send it to dispatch into the ABS so we can have that for contact tracing purposes. So make sure. So once again, hit the back button, hit the three dashes, and once you hit this, once you hit the home, then go ahead and hit settings, and then on the app, make sure that the ridership verification, right, it's off. Right now, this is on. Green means on. If you hit it again, that means off. Okay. All right, and then from here, let's address the issue um, of not being able to log in. So hit the start button and go ahead and log in. Okay, so from here, if you have an issue where it's not taking, it's just stuck on this on the loading screen, what you want to do is you want to restart the Synovia app. If you don't see this right away, you want to go ahead and start the Synovia app and then just start it again. And so the way that you do that is so when you have this issue on your thing where you keep getting like a circle of death where it never goes away for like 2-3 minutes, then what you want to do is on the outside of your screen onto the right side, right below the little house home button, there is a multi window button right here. So if you go ahead and click that, let me show you what happens. What it will do is it will actually show you all the apps that are currently open on your tablet right now. And the one that you want to close and restart is the silver lining. It doesn't matter if you close it, it's going to restart it, but it'll just take you longer to restart. But what you want to do is you want to restart the silver lining app. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and restart it by hitting the X button here, and it's going to close it. And if you just wait like a couple of minutes, it'll go ahead and restart by itself. And let's wait for the time and the date to come out. And then once that's done, you hit start again. And then if you do this one more time, then by the second time when you're logging in, then you shouldn't have that error where it gets hung up on the single sign-on. So hopefully that will, um, you know, fix the issue of this loading, thing taking forever. That you're not going to see that. Okay, so it shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes. All right, and that's it. And go ahead and put in your work and school account, and then go ahead and click sign on, and then put in your password. Right, go ahead and put in your password. And then once you put in your password, go ahead and press the green enter button. And if you entered correctly, it'll take you to this screen. We'll give you your first name. And then once you're here, then you know you signed in with your single sign-on. That means you're good. Hit press continue. It's going to ask you what you are. Go ahead and just put either heavy or light bus driver. In this case, I'm going to be a light bus driver. And then for regular, either choose regular routes or do field trips. So I put regular routes. Would you like to complete an inspection? For now, just put no. Are you driving a route? Yes. And then, you can go ahead and sync. If you don't see a route in here, go ahead and press sync. And then it's gonna sync. It's gonna basically what it's doing. It's pulling in all the routes that are in the routing software. And then if you don't see it, you can go ahead and hit the search button and pull in the route that you want to bring in. So let's just say like 1104. And if you search, you found it, and it's the AM and PM. Boom. Right now it says there's no. Do you want to sync? Right? There's no runs. Right? So yeah, sure, I'll sync. When it asks you to sync, just sync every time. And now it found two. It found trip one and trip two. Right? So trip one and trip two. So I'm gonna go ahead and trip because I'm doing. Today is Wednesday, so I'm gonna do Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm gonna hit continue, and I'm gonna hit finish. And it said, "Do you want to start my route?" So I'm like, "Yes." No stops or students are on it. Do you want to sync? Yes, please. Okay, there you go. And now you're ready to do your runs. And when I get to Firestone Boulevard, so I'm gonna go ahead and scan my student on here, and voila! Because I turned the ridership off, as you saw, it was able to capture that student on there, and it didn't tell you the name, and that's okay, because you have the ridership verification off right now, which is fine. But the way you know that you successfully added a student is because now there is one student that you just signed that you passed on, that you scanned on. So if the student scans and you hear something, but then if the numbers don't change, then that's a problem. So let's look at passenger count, see what it says. Right here, this shows that this kid 1542357 came on, then you're good. You're good to go. Then you hit back, and then you're gonna go to the next 104th Street, right? And then you're gonna scan it again for another student. Okay, so right now, like I'm at 104th Street, and I'm about to scan the second student, right? So I go ahead and scan this next student. Boom, there's the second student. And now, if I go ahead and click on passengers, right, you're gonna find that there's two students on your. There's this student, and then there's the second student. Okay. And when you get to the final stop and you're ready to release these people, you could either have the students scan off. If they scan again, this kid scans again, it'll scan them off. Or if you want to just hurry up, get them all off, you can just hit delete all. Okay, and hit yes, and all the kids are going to be off your bus. 0 passengers. I hit the back button, and then as you can see, on your passenger list, there's 0. So you're good. There's no kids on your bus, and that's it. So this should get rid of your issue of not being able to scan kids on your bus. And scanning kids is going to be so important because we need to have a record of every student for contact tracing purposes for COVID. If there's just in case there's there's an outbreak. So please, please, please make sure that the bus passes are working. And if your scanner's not working, if there's no power, if you put your hand underneath the scanner and there's no red light, there's no red laser light on it, then you know that there's no power in there, then that's okay. Then what you want to make sure you use is the 3 paper forms. The one for the special ed, there's a paper form for the integration kids, the magnet kids, and then the third one is for a catch-all of whoever is not on the special ed or the route form, but just someone that came. You can go ahead and use the third one for free. You could write the person's name down. Okay. Yeah, so one of these options are going to capture all the students for safety purposes, so make sure we comply. Thank you very much.